Hello, my fellow YouTubers. It is still April 5th, Friday of 2019 at 7:26 p.m. Denver time. I want to talk about the movie The Mule with Clint Eastwood, what the movie's about, and what the meaning I got out of it. So if you have not seen this movie and if you intend to, do not listen to this. Click out and get the hell out of here now. Great movie by Clint Eastwood as usual, and it's not just his shoot 'em ups. To run down the movie, if you've seen it, or if you don't intend to see it, you're going to listen to this anyway. He's an older guy. They didn't say how long he's been running this farm, or whatever you want to call it, raising lilies, and he's winning prizes for them. It flashes forward to 12 years later. His property's under foreclosure. These Mexicans who are his friends that he has working for him, they're watching him go and they're sad. They have to obviously go too. He goes to his daughter's wedding, and she's happy to see him. His granddaughter's wedding. His daughter and his wife, his ex-wife, wanted nothing to do with him because he neglected them over the lilies. So then he accidentally gets involved into running drugs. And this goes on to the movie, and then he eventually gets busted, and at the end of the movie he says fuck it, I'm going to plead guilty, and goes to prison, and it flashes forward to the very end, and he's happy in prison because he gets to raise lilies again. This movie had a point and a purpose and a meaning that I bet a lot of people missed. That man in this movie began the movie and ended the movie with what made him happy, with what was the meaning in his life, was the lilies. Oh, my TV just went dark, so my phone's a little darker. But the lilies, those flowers, those lilies to him were his meaning and his happiness in life. And we all have to have that, and we all cannot neglect that, and through our lives we cannot be sidetracked through that. And I can speak 100%. I can add in, I know a lot about what the character this man played in the movie. Because in my video on my other channel, Truth or Fiction, I have a video about, I think it's called something like Me, Myself, and I. From February of 98 to February of 2005, I did 7 calendar years straight in federal prison for muling drugs myself. I did it for 3 years, and no, the money was not worth it when I got caught and had to do 7 years. So you can put that aside right now. That movie had a great meaning that I'm willing to bet the majority of the people that see it missed. People, if you have, it's not a purpose. It's a meaning in your life. It's what's in your heart. It's what's in your heart, in your mind, especially in your heart. What makes you happy? What is your drive in life? Mine, for the word I've always used, and the lack of a better word, is camping. For being out there, for being out in the wilderness, for being out in the primitive. Now that I have that trailer I'm converting into a camper, I'm not going to be doing these 3 and 4 month so-called primitive camping trips like I used to do in a tent, because I wanted to have something for a hard shell shelter for heat. But that is my happiness. That's what drives me. I'm a loner. Yes, I still work well and play well with others, but I'm a loner. It's me and my 2 girls, meaning my 2 dogs. But that's what makes me happy. That to me is my purpose in life. That's my drive. That's my goal right now. Me getting ready to move out to that property, damn near an hour outside of the Springs, to do that 4-month job, and like I said, when it's done, I'm going to stay there. I don't care if I have to get him a minimum wage job because I don't need much money to stay out there. And if I end up dying out there, I'm going to be happy doing so. Like I said before, and I think I mentioned it, I know I mentioned it once, maybe twice, I do not care if, I have not told her yet, but I don't care if the time comes, if the wife follows me out there or not. Matter of fact, I hope not. Don't take that the wrong way. That's not a callous statement. That's just the way it is. We've been married just a little bit over 10 years now, like 10 years and 4 months or some crap. Our years, it's a sketchy marriage. We split up 8, 11 times, and I'm not exaggerating whatsoever. It's just one of them things, but we don't hate each other. We don't have domestic stuff. There's no cops involved, none of that kind of crap. It doesn't work, but it works. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You have to go with that meaning in your life, that drive in your life, and you cannot let things stop that. I do not. I make videos about some of the current events. I make videos also about the jerk-offs, the false, the BSers here on YouTube, because that also needs to be done. But that is not my drive. That is not my meaning. That is not my happiness in life. But at the same time, that's a little bit, I don't know if you want to call it contentment or whatever, because that does need to be done. Not like I used to do it. I'm just so, we're all tired of them rejects here on YouTube and out there BSing people, manipulating people, scamming people. But my thing, my happiness, my enjoyment, my meaning, my purpose is to be out there, and it's what I do very well, naturally, for lack of a better word. My gift is to be out there in the wilderness, and I could survive, and I'm not going to go into great detail, but I mentioned before, I can survive eating shit like Sylvester Stallone First Blood. He's been trained to eat stuff that would make a Billy Goat puke. I've done that. I've puked to get there to do that. And not BSing, I'm not exaggerating. I know I can do it. I'd rather not have to go that far if I don't have to. But I'm 53. I smoke like a choo-choo train. I drink. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't know any other drugs, regardless of what you buttheads like to say just because you hate me. I don't do any other drugs. I think when I was 19, I did heroin once and never did again. I used to be a big-time pothead. I've been working for this company 9 years, and I quit pot more than 9 years ago. So I smoke like a choo-choo. I have 3 or 4 beers after work. And years ago, I used to get drunk during Bronco games. I don't even do that anymore. I can't drink hard liquor because this old man's stomach can't handle it anymore. But you got to get that meaning and purpose in your life. You got to understand it. You got to see it. And you got to follow it. We get trapped. I've been trapped for years. I'm getting myself out of that trap. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to do it. I'm going to free myself of the trap, whatever it takes. Because whatever years I have left, I'm going to enjoy them, and I'm going to be happy. And yes, Mom, that means involve seeing you. I might have to wait till this job site's done in Colorado Springs and for 4 months, mid-September. Yes, I'm going to see you before I go wander off into the wilderness. But anyway, if you haven't seen that movie, if you have, I hope you got that, the meaning of the lilies, that man's life, that man's heart, that man's purpose. That's what made that man happy. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Bye.